goes on in a promiscuous situation, and then it's just like those type of things are applauded. Those type of things get views. But a person who really have something to say and using their brain instead of their body, nobody wants to hear about that. Let's be honest. Drama and you know what sells. That's what people are interested into. Like if we was over here just talking about regular smuggler life like this, people wouldn't really be too interested in that. Versus if we came with drama and beef, do you know how many people would come over here?
Trust me,
You-
I've learned that. I've learned that recently from the shorts that I've did going off, kind of going off. I'm like, damn, why did this short get so many views? And I just uploaded a short telling everybody wake up and pray to God. Why did the shorts of me snapping on people get like 5 times many more views than me just talking about, the whole spiritual thing? And so you got a point, you got a purpose with that. Do you think it's an agenda, or do you think it's? Did you mute your mic? Do you think it's an agenda, or do you think that it's more just like of a clout move, or just like something just like for them to stay relevant?
I think as far as other streamers go, they do a lot of things because they know their fan base, they know their audience, they know who they can reach and what they're gonna do for shock value. And at the end of the day, it's about views. Views bring the money. You know what I'm saying? And he has a name in the industry. So if when you once you say his name, people just think about all the celebrities that come over there. You know what I'm saying? What celebrity haven't been over there? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they know what they getting when they come over there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the younger people don't even know half of the people that come over there. But
Yeah.
because
So let me ask you this. Mute your mic. So with somebody like a Kai Sanat, right? Whom whom secretly started as one of those kids, right? Is one of those kids who was visiting the streamers, and he watched one of the streamers and got influenced and say, yo, this is what I want to do, what I want to become. And so he actually got the opportunity, and he actually became that streamer. And early on, like in his career, I mean, of course, people will transition into different things. But do you think, like, what do you think about the transition? Like, I've never, with the kid audience that I see, Kai Sanat, right, have, I've never thought I would see him like getting in the shower with men, like even if it's for views, even if they got their trunks on, whatever the case may be. What do you think? Like, give me some insight, just your thoughts on that. You muted. And shout out to everybody that's up in here, Paprika, 601, Bree Bree, and everybody else.
happy birthday, Bree Bree. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Um, Once again, it's shock value. It's hey Uncle Bill. It's about how they can get people in, how they can get people talking. Cause you got to remember, a lot of the younger people that's over there he put on, just his name carry weight, and they gonna do whatever it takes to get people in. You know what I'm saying? What person? Once you say his name, what celebrity hasn't been over there? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of celebrities been over there. A lot of heavy
I
hitters.
mean, yeah, I know, cause it's some that I even like as a kid. Like, I don't know how many of y'all grew up, cause I grew up in the '90s, but I don't know how many of y'all know about like Bill Nye, the science guy. So when you see dudes like that over there on Kai Sinai's stream, it stops and captures your attention. Like, what the hell Bill Nye doing on here? Like, I used to watch this dude in school. Like, this we used to teach us in school. And so when you see stuff like that, and then you see it's like that's too much power. When you can have somebody like that to come on your stream, right? No matter who's pulling the strings, But then you can turn around and I'm not slaughtering like men for sexuality or not like that. But you as a straight male, and then you got your child in this home with you, like you obviously have a children's audience. You are powerful enough to get somebody like that to come to your stream, but you make a decision to get in a shower with another man, and it's like, is that even needed? It's for shock value. When you have all of these guests that's already been on your show, when you can pretty much get any guest you want on your show. I believe a lot of those guests' name holds way more weight than the shock value from things that he do like this. So I'm trying to figure out, is this ritualistic? Do you think it's ritualistic? Do you think it could it be more than just shock value?
Again, he knows his audience. When you know your audience like that, you pretty much know what they gonna tune into versus what they want. It's just like with you, people won't gonna come. They gonna know what they get when they come over here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you do something out of character, they're gonna be like, "What's? Wait a minute, what's going on? What are we watching here?" Because that's something so unexpected. When they go over there, it's not so much that reaction because he knows his audience. He knows exactly what they want when they want it. And it's just like a lot of people don't think about shock value, so to speak, or because, like, once again, we know certain things sell. We know drama sells. We know, what sells. And at the end of the day, I just think he knows his audience. And he's the people that's under him, his proteges, they know him too. So they mimic what he does.
I mean, so if if you had a child, right, a teenager, yeah, let's just say your boy, right? You know, you got a boy over there, and he was like a fan of Kai Cenat. Like with something like that, I mean, you obviously know that it's just shock value, right? It's not nothing serious. It's just shock value. Would you allow your son to continue watching a Kai Cenat?
Um, that's a very difficult question to answer because my baby, he's 17 years old and he's so far from Casanat. That's not even, that ain't even his cup of tea. He more or less like, he's more like on a nerd spectrum. He's more or less like, what can I create? He created his own computer. He built his own computer. So he ain't really into that type of thing. And he more of like a political conversations and things of that nature. He's not really into, because when he sees stuff like that, he's just like, "Psh, that's so far from me." To him, that's just beyond him. So that's kind of hard for me to answer that on his behalf because he's not even into that.
Yo, shout out Sunshine Films. Thank you for coming in. Bree, I will have a special birthday shout out for you. And so get with Fannie because on behalf of TSM Entertainment, we want to send you like a box. And so just get with her or whatever, with her being the woman of this duo. And so whenever you get with her, just give her three things that you possibly want in that box, and the rest we'll figure it out. So happy birthday to you. And everybody in the chat, drop a balloon emoji, a cake emoji, something for the wonderful Bree. So outside of that topic, Fannie, what else do you have for us? Cause I know this was kind of random. I had hit you up kind of randomly, like, yo, we got to do this. The sponsors is tripping. And speaking of sponsors, listen, folks, y'all tap in with Apex. Use promo code that's Y000. I promise you that they have some of the best digital devices that can squeeze inside your ear or even in your fingertips. Y'all like music, recording music. Y'all like sound, period. If y'all in that sound barrier or atmosphere, if you working with any digital devices, you working on media, you working on content, tap in with Apex. They have something that you can use that's going to help you within your creation. So make sure you let them know TSM Rapper sent you. Get 15% off when you go over there and use promo code YO. Make sure that you tap in with Apex. I really want to let y'all know this to the rest of the live, but I see y'all see the blue on the fingernails, and some people just probably wondering what the hell is going on. TSM Rapper has blue on his fingernails. Well, I told y'all, and I kept promising y'all that the Yo Nail Polish Superman blue was coming out, baby, and we effing got it. We effing got it. Not bluish as I wanted it. I wanted it to be a little bit more darker, so it could kind of go for the. It's unisex, still unisex, but definitely y'all tap in. We will have these things in some store pretty soon. I just got to do the digging and the research, but we got the capabilities to make it inside one of those stores, depending on what amount of percentage we're willing to give away. So y'all be looking out for that very soon. But y'all can go on my website as well as the spread shop and find this thing easily, and y'all can be looking just as colorful as your boy looking right now up on the podcast, man. And so we're gonna turn it over to FANNIE-P, y'all, and see what we got going on for the rest of this live. What's happening?
To tie in what we was talking about, um, I just thought it would be interesting if we talked about the cost of fame. And what I mean by that is, we've heard so many horror stories about childhood celebrities now that they're adults, the trauma that they experience from being a child celebrity. What are your thoughts about that?
You know what? Could you break that down a little bit more? Because when I answer this, I want to be as detailed as possible. And I notice I'm always, well, from your end, I'm always kind of going off topic. You be like, well, I was asking about this. I really wasn't asking about that. So break down detail. What exactly are you asking me?
Like, there's been childhood um, actors and actresses. They started off when they were very young, some even as being toddlers. And now that they're adults, they're dealing with all type of mental health addictions, um, alcohol abuse, drug abuse. They're not doing well mentally, physically, emotionally, and it has a lot to do with them being brought up in an industry that
Yeah,
they.
go ahead. Go ahead and mute your mic. Go ahead and mute your mic. I think I could chime in on it because it's crazy, right? Let me give y'all a perfect example, right? And some of y'all probably gonna come back and comment. You're not famous, TSM. But listen, just now becoming the little, name that I am, and being just the small amount of fame that I do have. That right there, man. Listen, I have been so mentally off that I have to talk to people every single day. I mean, it don't even have to be a problem. It could just be a way that I might be feeling. Somebody asked me earlier. They asked me something about how do you feel when I see certain people, I see certain women or certain genders, and they was like, how do you feel when you see that? I'm like, it's just all black and white now. Like it used to be like the coolest shit ever, like the coolest feeling ever, but now it's all black and white because it's like I don't even know I don't know how much percentage of this is real, how much of it is fake. I just don't know now. So it's just all like a blur, a mystery. And with that being said, I feel bad. I'm an adult, and that man, it's crazy for me. And I have to, a grown man, I have to contact people. I have to contact people every day to talk to get advice from, just with the small amount of fame that I do have. And for the people to say you ain't famous, shut up. You get on 3 TV shows, a commercial, have your own clothing line. You do all this, have everything that I have gained. You do it. Just Google TSM-RAPPER. I want you to Google, get half of that debt with yourself, and then you come back and tell me that I ain't famous. So shut up. But yeah, I can feel I feel very bad, man, because I can only imagine these kids don't even know what they're getting themselves into. They just told to do this and they do it. They don't know how bad it's gonna ruin their mental. I mean, this can just sleep patterns can turn into just man, Fanny. I can go on and on. You tell me your take up on it though.
um I feel like when you start putting children who really don't have a say so into that type of world, I think it's more damaging to them because they are being exposed to a lot. And I think a lot of times mothers can be I mean, not mothers, I'm sorry, parents can be manipulated by the money factor of it all. And a lot of times, in how many situations have we heard about or read about where parents have allowed their children to be in the industry and the parents are not really involved. All they see is the money factor, the fame, and their child wind up being harmed in some type of way. So that's my biggest concern about that is allowing your children into the industry so very, very young and parents not really understanding the involvement what goes along with being a parent of a celebrity child.
Yo, can you mute and let me chime in real quick with something that, and I can say it's kind of similar with this, but so I just find out I'm doing my research, and you know, I think just fame alone for a parent is a distraction, a big distraction, right? To where their children can be only getting watched 30% of the time by them, and something can happen to the child, and just in that time period. Perfect example. Just recently, there's this rapper named NLE Chopper. I don't know if y'all know of him or heard of him, but so he gets this custody. He shared custody with his daughter and the mother, something like that, right? And so it was his week. It was his week to keep the baby or a weekend. He's at the studio with his daughter, and I believe she's like 7 or 8 or something like that. Now I will tell y'all what happened after I tell y'all how this end up coming about. The daughter go back to the mom house. She tells the mom, "My hoo hoo hurts." When I'm listening to the story, I'm going, "Oh, I hope this man ain't do nothing like this to this baby." I'm going, "What? What do the baby mean? Her hoo hoo hurts?" And so the mom quickly, being a mom, undresses the baby, and then she's looking in the baby's underwear. She sees blood, and I'm really going, "Yo, I know NLE Chopper didn't do this." And so what comes to find out is he's in the studio. He takes his baby to the studio with him, and she end up leaving somewhere in the studio, this building where there's nothing but guys at. And no, nobody did nothing to her. I'm just let y'all know that now. There's nothing but guys in the studio. So with his fame, he's so distracted by all of these people that's just so happy to see him. "Oh, you're NLE Chopper. Oh my God, I can't believe you're him." He's not paying attention to where his baby is. She goes off somewhere, and on this TV screen, there's some gymnastics video playing. And this lady is like on top of the pole or something, and she's just like doing the gymnastic splits. So his daughter, trying to mimic this, she climbs on top of like a shelf or something, and on this shelf is just like this little thin pole. And she goes on this thin pole and try to do the splits on this pole, and she falls straight down onto her VV. Now, the daughter feels that the dad, or she's gonna get in trouble, or the dad just don't give a damn, because she had to stay with the dad for the rest of that weekend. She didn't tell the dad. She told the mom when she went home. So this baby had to sit there with all that pain and cracks in her VV, blood and everything, just because her father, who is famous, was so caught up by his celebrityism that he was not paying attention to his daughter. And this is like a fresh 7 days ago. So this baby is still dealing with that trauma. And so sometimes, man, that fame can be hell for the parent itself. Forget what the child may be going through. That child is going to have to go through something just because the parents is associated with the fame. You get what I'm saying? The baby's going to be okay. Them working hard and all of that ain't going to be what's going to take them down. It's going to be the distraction of the parents. It's going to wind up leading to these children's downfall. And some of them yet today. You know what I'm saying?
How old was baby girl? I mean,
6 years old.
and he didn't recognize that the baby was hurt.
All I know is that the mom said that the baby either was scared that daddy was going to get mad, or that she felt like she didn't care. Because she asked her, "Why you ain't tell your daddy?" And she said, "I just wanted to tell you." So she sat there, whatever, I don't know what the hell kind of relationship he got with his baby, to where his baby seriously hurt herself. And she didn't want to, she'd rather go 2 whole days with pain and cracks without telling her father.
Wow, that's, I mean, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, how would that must be something that's traumatic for him as well because think about it. He was in her she was in his
No, no,
custody.
no. Hold on. Let's get deep into it then. Mute your mic. Let's get deep into it. Since we're gonna go there, you know what I'm saying? Since it was traumatic for him as well, let's talk about 2 weeks previous. Y'all can look all this up if y'all want to. I wasn't trying to put the man out there, but since you think he may have been going through a traumatic 2 weeks previous, this is a grown man. He started out as a hood rapper. He transitioned into this like nutrient type guy to where he fasts and like he drinks like the coconut oils and he barely eats food. 2 weeks before this happened to his daughter, well, he had his son with him from a different baby mother. Well, he decided 2 whole weeks to fast that baby without feeding that baby, giving the baby coconut oils, orange juice, and magnesia milk or something like that. The mom called, it's text messages. The mom tried not to put this stuff out. The mom called, like, no, that's a baby. You cannot do that. You can't fast the baby. Something is going to happen to him. Well, he dropped the baby off to the mom, and that same day, that baby passed out, had to go to the hospital, and they had to revive the baby, and the baby lost like a third of his body weight or something like that. So we're talking about this type of parent. So if he had any remorse, I'm just saying, maybe he truly thought as a grown man that's smart enough to get himself into $1 million record company. As a grown man, maybe he really did believe that you can fast a baby and just feed them juices. A newborn baby and just feed them juices. Sacrifice? I don't know. Poor fathering skills? I don't know. But all I'm saying is, it's a thin line between being a famous father and just being like a regular father. A lot of these people, what happens is, I took the route of doing this myself, so I'm still involved. I'm still here with my children. They see me every day. I have time. It's optional for me to cut this live on and do this when I want to and when I don't. These rappers that sign their rights over, they have to be away from their kids and their families for at least 7 months at the time when they first sign their contract because they got to go on tour. Well, they don't know what it's like because they get these women pregnant and they all of a sudden get these record deals and they don't know what it's like to be a dad. They never went to the classes. They got $100,000 on the table they need to go get. And so, like I said, fame put a lot of stuff in front of them that distracts them and distracts the mind from what they need to be paying attention to. It's possible you can do both. You can become both. But I'd rather not put myself in a predicament to where I know I signed some paperwork that's telling me I have to be away from my kids and the mom for at least 35 days out of each month. Like, nah, I want it to be optional. If I want to go perform sometime, I have my manager to book it and get paid that way. Like, so a lot of them is distracted.
I mean, you doing this to a baby, that's neglectful. That is so irresponsible on so many different levels. It's like really once again it goes to what originally said. That was not that child's um that's not something that the child signed up for. Like and that's I think a lot of parents feel like just because there's something that they're involved in that that's going to be good for their child. You know what I'm saying? Like we all grew up believing certain things and enjoying certain things and but a child that very young does not have the capability or the mental capacity to make that decision about themselves. And as an adult, you know your child needs certain nutrients to survive. So that's very start disturbing to me to hear as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're a first time parent, you know not to engage in something like that because I saw a video a couple of days ago that was sent to me about a mom who was engaging in some extracurricular activities with her newborn and she decided to take her. I believe the baby was like a couple of weeks old. The baby wasn't even a month old. I know that. Beautiful baby girl. She took the baby up in her hands and she's just holding the baby like this on live, spinning the baby around while she's engaging in her curricular activity, and it's just like the baby is just floating in the air. And people called on her, and she wound up losing her child. So it's kind of like it's the mindset to me. It's the mindset to me. So what do you think? Hey, Josh. No, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I disagree. I disagree. Totally. For him to think that it's healthy for a baby, a 1 year old, to drink juice and skip meals is beyond me. Everybody knows that when you have a baby, once they start walking, that baby weight, that baby fat, that cute chubbiness, it's going to fall off. But babies need certain nutrients they can get from formula. And as they grow older, you can start feeding them other meals. And for him just to have that mindset is disturbing to me. It's like why are you doing this to a child?
The way that he was, it reminds me of somebody who's in a higher position. They think just because that they're in a higher position that they automatically correct. They automatically know more than you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his ego is playing a big part of this. Let's get back into it. Mute your mic.
Well, he poops 3 times a day. He has healthy bowel movements. Ellie Chopper says, and he ain't effing complain. Only thing he's saying is goo goo gaga over here. He's straight. Now, this is the lead up, by the way, to the kid eventually going to the emergency room. He responds back, we finna double up. He's straight. He got beef juice. Bro got him on the cow diet. All he get that boy is beef juice. He says beef with great benefits, which is a fruit. So technically, he MFing ate. I don't give a F what a MF talking about. Here's the crazy part. He says the baby is filled off of beet juice. He good. But then before he drops off the baby, he then texts her because he's about to drop her off. He says, yo, the baby has only been saying goo goo gaga while with him. But when he's about to drop off the baby back to Marissa, he texts her saying, yo, he's hungry. And he says, when pulling up, I gotta get these clothes from Blank Street. I'ma just wait on you. She says, you ain't feeding? He says, I have this bottle. We took a nap and woke up, just finished getting a haircut. What does that have to do with why you ain't feed the baby? She responded back, milk is just something for him to drink. He needs actual food now. He responds, I thought he already ate. It's okay. We over here on a juice fast. I'm feeding him some that's going to flush him out. Laughing. So he said, the baby is hungry. She says, you need to get him food. He says, nah, it's okay. We're on a juice fast anyway. He can be hungry for a little bit. We're going to flush out his. Sir, what? The baby is hungry, sir. What are you talking about? Again, man, maybe I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm positive Ellie Chopper ain't purposely trying to hurt his baby. No. Ellie Chopper is misguided and he's in too deep. She responded back, that's funny. He hasn't ate since this morning then. That's a baby. He responds back, Marissa, if he ate this morning realistically, his next meal should come around the time you get him 12 to 6. Body is like a clock. He will be fine. He then starts spazzing on her for not believing in a chopper diet. Even using ChatGPT to back him up. So he writes, listen, I'm not going to argue with you on everything I love. He ain't supposed to eat 3 times a day. Like I said, he shows ChatGPT and problems. He also says, the ninja don't need no 3-day meals. He's juicing with his dad, which is healthy and clean out his tummy for good gut health, like I said. When you get him at 6 p.m., stuff him all the F you want. He's forever well taken care of, ninja. So his last meal was at 10 a.m.
I can't just. I gotta let you react, unless YouTube gonna get me. So so far, what do you think is so far?
Well, the baby is 1 years old, correct? When
Correct,
they
correct.
when they are 1 years old, they are at an age where they can drink juice, and beet juice is a great juice for any of us. But to solely say I'm only going to allow my child to juice because you want to fast, that's not that is irresponsible on so many different levels. That is so that's a baby.
Don't cook them yet. Save some of it. Save some of it. Let's get the rest playing.
Ellie Chopper says, hey, when I drop off the baby at 6 p.m., you can feed him all you want. He's fasting with his dad. He's not going to have 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. a 1-year-old. Now, obviously, this was nonsense. Obviously, this holistic stuff is mumbo jumbo because the baby ended up in the emergency room due to this extreme fast that Chopper was giving him. After the baby ends up in the emergency room, Italy Chopper is now humbled and begins to apologize. He then writes her, I love you and apologize for the other day. My composure should have been kept, and I shouldn't have acted in distress, even though I was in distress. Just want to let you know that. She responded back, acted in distress in defense that you didn't feed him. Beef juice was too strong for him, but I wasn't going to sit there and tell you because I mean I'd be wrong or some ish. He responds back, acting in distress with no regards of this. My distress came from me feeling like no matter what I do, you want perfection from me when nobody's perfect. No, she just wants you to feed the baby, bro. You're like, bro, you give the baby beef juice as a diet, homie. That's insane. He responds back, uh, and he was fed. He just wasn't fed a solid food. We both was asleep and we woke up literally 2 hours before you got him. I had to prepare for the show. And as you've seen in the other my messages, he even admits that he gave the baby the wrong juice. Maybe beet juice was not the right option. That's horrific, bro. Now, Chopper is a new parent, and parents aren't perfect, and they make mistakes. And maybe he's trying to do the right thing, or he's doing what he thinks is good for his baby. But come on, bro. No, bro. No, bro. You can't fast the baby. You can't like dehydrate. Like Chopper, bro. Just be normal for one, bro. Like if you want to take yourself through that as an adult, do your thing. But bro, let the baby be a baby, bro. Let the baby have the milk. Let him have the formula. Let him have, like the cereal. Let the baby be a baby, bro. All right. Now, Emily Chopper's other baby mama, which is the first one, she would also accuse Emily Chopper of being neglectful.
Uh oh. Here it comes, Fanny. Here it comes. All right, we gonna go and get through it. Let's get through it. You gotta hear it, cause you gotta get chewed up. Somebody gotta chew Chopper up for this. Right? The fans still rocking, letting you know, like, bro, you wrong. You out of pocket, baby. So, me, Poetic Flacco, and everybody else is rocking with me. We just gotta say something.
Towards their daughter that they have together. Now, the daughter is Emily Chopper's first child. She also took to her IG story to expose Emily Chopper. Never sue the other driver after a car accident.
Hold on.
That they have together. Now, the daughter is Emily Chopper's first child. She also took to her IG story to expose Emily Chopper. With this particular accusation, I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 with it. Like, I can see how some people will say it's Emily Chopper's fault, but I could also see some people say, bro, give him like a break. It's not entirely his fault per se. So the baby mama wrote, talk about how the last time my daughter went with him, she came back home saying her vagina was hurting and was bleeding down there for 2 days. Now she started this off pretty horrific, having everybody think, hold on, like what are you accusing him of? But then she clarified. Okay, she says because she was afraid to tell him. Now apparently the baby girl got an injury while with Emily Chopper, and like she was afraid to tell him that she got injured. So, come to find out, he had her at the studio per usual, not watching her per usual. She did a split and landed on a door stopper and hurt herself. It was people around. She told a woman that was there, and she also did nothing, didn't even tell her dad. That happened on a Sunday. My baby didn't come home till that Tuesday, blood in her panties, which means she bled for 2 whole days because she was afraid to tell her own father she hurt herself. She came straight home and told me what happened word for word.
All right, go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. It's like you can't even say he's a first time dad because he has an older child. And for the mere fact he allowed his daughter to bleed for 2 whole days. Do you know the trauma and shock your body will go through for bleeding for 2 whole days untreated as a little girl, as a child? And I'm just trying to figure out why
Hey,
this
Mama
little
Helen.
why she felt unsafe to go to her dad like, hey, I hurt myself. Like, I know I have two little girls. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people be like, oh, because you're a woman. No, 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 no. I also have a 17-year-old. When he fell and hurt himself, he came to me like, hey, I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what was in this little girl that she felt so adamant that she couldn't tell her dad? You know what I'm saying? That's question number one. Question number two, what in his right mind thought it was okay to fast a baby? A baby. Like, come on. Everybody know that babies need certain nutrients to survive in this world. And you neglect it. And then when the baby goes to the emergency room, because I'm pretty sure the baby probably was dehydrated, daggone near malnourished from you fasting this child, and then you get an epiphany like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, how does that even make sense in the mind of a father? This wasn't a new, he had already been a father to an older child. So I'm just trying to figure out what made this man seem to think just because the baby was drinking formula that it was okay to be like, oh, my son need to be on a fast, a juice fast. Nonetheless, do you know how dangerous that is for a kid? A juice fast. Do you? I can't say on here, but can you imagine what that child went through? Getting all them different juices and all that flowing out of his body. He wasn't getting anything. As fast as he was being put in, it was being released out. And that's sad to me. That's very, very sad to me and very unfortunate that he felt like it was okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I see parents, everybody raised their children different. But it's just like when you see parents allow their little kids to drink sodas. You know what I'm saying? Like they over here drinking sodas at 1 or 2 years old. Like why? Why are you why are you giving a baby a soda? Like why? You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's weird, but you can't tell people how to raise their children. So TSM, what's your thought?
It's I just feel like I personally know like a lot of people like that I know like in real life that are the best parents, and child services done bothered these people so many times, and it's like these people are the best parents, and I see a lot of celebrities um that's totally trash parents that child services should be involved, and it's just like it's not happening at all, and it's crazy, and it's like that right there, that type of action will take my fandom away from. I was messing with that dude music. Like I liked him, like, cause he transitioned from a gangster rapper to a more of a awareness rapper, and I liked it that. And I was like, we need this, but just to go and hear both his baby moms come forward, not with just because when you a celebrity, a lot of times you got to worry about a lot of lies and a lot of people trying to throw dirt on your name. So this happens a lot. These women came forward with evidence, like, and that's probably just a small fraction of what we have as far as parenting when it comes to these celebrities. I feel like we all, and I'm not gonna say y'all, I feel like we all need to watch who we value. We all need to watch who we support. We all need to watch who we say we like the work of. Um, just as delicate as your work is, that can turn me away from that. Just those actions right there. Um, Not only that it's bad parenting, but it's destroying the future. And I want to know personally, like, and I know it probably never get to the bottom of it, but I just want to know personally, why was that little girl scared to tell her daddy that she got hurt down there? I'm just saying, like, why? Like, My kids, like, my kids tell me all the time when they hurting somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? My wee hurt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something like, I don't understand why would a child not. And I'm so curious as why would a baby wouldn't let their parent know something like that. That's just my big question mark over everything.
That's what I was saying too. It makes you, for me, it will question their relationship. What type of relationship does she have with her dad? And what I mean by that is, does she trust him to be there for her emotionally? Because a lot of times you can be a parent, but you're not there emotionally for your child. Be physically here for my kids. But if I'm not present in their lives, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they're not going to want to come and talk to me about anything. They're just not wired that way. Children know who they can come and talk to because they have that bond with that person. And if they feel like they can't come and talk to that parent, guess what? They won't. They won't. That's something
You
that
know
you
what?
can.
Fanny. This is what hurts me the most, right? And cause like I was just telling y'all, like I'm a fan of dude, right? Like I was just telling y'all that I've seen the show of this boy. Now a lot of y'all familiar. Y'all probably haven't heard his music, but y'all familiar with the name King Von. Like a lot of y'all know or heard of King Von before. If y'all haven't, he's a trap rapper that lost his life due to a situation. But anyways, when he lost his life, he had a son. I think his son was just like maybe 4 years old at the time. And I see NLE Chopper at a show, at one of his shows. He's performing, and he plays a King Von song. And he looks to the back of the stage, and he like, "Come here." He hands the mic to this young man. The young man run on stage and start rapping his daddy song word from word. He's out here showing other rappers, babies, mad love. It's King Von's song. He did that for. How could you do something like that for somebody else's song? Although he's no longer here, God bless his soul, and go off and treat your own babies less than, even if it's not purposeful.
That happens often. I mean, you got to think about it. And when you on a certain and you live a certain lifestyle, people do things for attention. You know what I'm saying? They do things for attention. It's just like somebody will come over and be like, "Oh my gosh, TSM, TSM," while they child running around in a diaper, no shirt, no shoes on, and you like, "Hey, can you get your child?" And they like, "Oh, I'm gonna get them." They always, you like, "No, no, 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 no. Can you take care of your child? I'ma still be here, but I need for you to tend to your child." You see what I'm saying? They get blinded by what's real and what's not real, the fantasy of it all. Because a lot of times people will try to connect themselves to people that they think that they know, but they really don't know. And they forget their priorities get all messed up and screwed up. And they just forget that, sometimes, children, unfortunately, are just really casualties of their own parents' bad decisions, unfortunately. And it happens a lot. It happens a whole lot.
That's where parenting classes comes in, and it depends on how they take that and accept it. And I just feel like the overall thing is we should choose our children before the careers, and if we do that, we come off as a better person. Because while you exposed right now and you got all this attention, and you showing us what type of parent you are, all that exposure is not the good exposure that you need or want. And just want to encourage all parents out there and soon to be parents to just be the best that you can be. Be the best parent that you can be. Because trauma follows a child from, it could follow their whole life. Take me as an example. I still tell y'all, about what happened to me when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? So that could always follow them, and so just be careful with what we doing, how we acting, and how we watching these children. We just about at the end of this thing. I do got a couple of announcements to drop. One with being that this live wasn't really supposed to happen. The sponsors reached out, and so we had to, do the Apex sponsor, and so we ended up going live just based off that. Now, with that being said, I know we're supposed to do the TikTok live today, but like I said, this live wasn't supposed to happen today, so we're gonna do the TikTok live tomorrow for sure. Um, Tonight is gonna be film and production night, which means Fanny can contact either one of y'all, Mama Helen, Zay Zay, because Jesus, woman, it's hard to get your attention when it comes to this filming. We try and get it did. We got enough did, and after this live, we'll be working on a filming, the rest of the filming or whatever we got going on. Now, once again, make sure that y'all tap in TSM Entertainment. It's not my nail polish. It's not Fanny's nail polish, but it's your nail polish. Y'all go ahead and go tap in on my website. Make sure y'all get the Superman blue. Also, we got the molasses black, the jet black, and the matte black. So y'all make sure that y'all tap in with that. Now, this whole time I've been sitting here with my phone on the perfect stand, and we all seen that perfect stand the last time we went live. And this stand was provided to me through Apex, the perfect device stand. If you guys have a cellular device, Android, iPhone, hell, even those fat phones they got now that flip open just like that, everything is compatible with this. Do you have any announcements that you want to drop for everybody?
Not so much announcements, but I do apologize. I didn't give my shout outs to
E
Reverb
Money,
Nation.
I see you. My bad, I didn't miss you. I see you in the building. Thank you.
I apologize that I didn't give my shout outs to Reverb Nation. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you, each and every one of you guys from Reverb Nation. Shout out to the replay gang and the cloud watchers and everyone in the chat. Thank you so very much for joining us. And I do apologize because I do shout you guys out at the beginning of every podcast. And forgive me for doing that. But thank you so much for each and every one of you guys being here. You are truly appreciated. TSM does as well. So, guys,
All right, y'all. We will see y'all on the next one tomorrow. It's gonna be the TikTok live. Remember, I need y'all to pull up, show out for me. Cause like I say, y'all know who TSM-RAPPER is. I'm new on TikTok. I'm just growing too fast over there. So they like, who is this dude with all the numbers over here? Like, they just popped out of nowhere. So y'all, when I'm live on TikTok, the screen is gonna be on y'all, and y'all just show out in the comments so they can know, like, oh, like, yeah, like he him for real. Penny, you say y'all like that word right there, didn't you? You say you was watching something and somebody was like, I'm him for real. Wait, tell me, what was that again? What was you watching? And what was the circumstances?
I don't remember. I do not remember. I don't remember.
Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one, man.
Bye, guys.